Hello and welcome to another Forge Alliance Forever cast. I'll be your host, Swkoll, and today we're looking at a 3v3 on Twin Rivers. This was sent to me by a viewer who goes by the name Bjorn. I'm butchering your name, Bar. And it is a 3v3 on Twin Rivers. We have some decent players here. Slightly high for noobs, slightly low for mid. But we have some decent players. Up on the top team, in the front positions, we have Blowdeer and Swkoll, and S Commander is in the back. On the bottom side team, we've got WSL taking up the back position, Low Fate taking up the front, along with Come to Pay. So on the bottom side, we got a UEF, Seraphim, and Aeon, versus their opposing Aeon, and Seraphim. So let's see how they can do it. Air only. So the typical team play on this game is players go forward, back player either ecos or goes forward to assist a player, back player grabs the islands, and out ecos, gets T2 or then T3 air and then wins or loses depending if anyone dies. Twin Rivers, a fairly underplayed team map. I would like to see more games, 3v3s on Twin Rivers. It's better than most team maps out there, and also makes for a great 1v1. Swkoll is going to be placing some nice lean coverage all over the place. Going to be able to see that engineer. If he can react, he can take it out before it gets to the middle mass, which is a decent eco boost if you can get to it. WSL is on it. He's going to do it. Just keeping the Celine around for intel is also a decent move. At least he knows the engineer's getting that. He knows what's going on. And this engineer will be denied. So most likely an even split of the reclaim, with Blowdeer being able to have more control over this position. Sending engineer to go grab that. Come to Pay with his ACU, very aggressive. Most aggressive ACU out there. Let's see how he uses that. Pushing forward. Protecting these mexes would be an idea. What was the cost of not getting a second factory with the ACU? He's just working on a second factory now with engineers. Oh, and Fam does clean up that engineer reclaiming. Blowdeer's commander needs to come. It's a bit late, and WSL with the first drop with 2 entries to the bottom island, or bottom ridge. One engineer getting defenses, the other getting mexes. No factory planned. That's okay. A nice scout, and his Low Fate is going to find his way into Swkoll's ACU. But unfortunate there, he'll have to fall back. So Low Fate getting his ACU in there too. WSL with the next drop to the top, and just as the transport for S Commander's getting ready, we'll see where he decides to drop that first. Scout comes off, sees the position on the bottom. Scout at the top does not see anything there, but there are inties ready to protect. So Come to Pay getting that T2 on the ACU. That'll be a very powerful weapon. T2 point defenses can easily grab a lot of map control. Drops coming down. 2 engineers versus looks like 4 engineers with a slight time difference. We'll see how we can use that. Not building anything. Gave him a move order. Not really building anything. The transport is spotted. Engineers forced to drop into the water. They'll have to walk the rest of the way and build the factory up on that ledge. Come to Pay getting his T2. He should be able to use that relatively soon. Lots of static defenses being constructed on the bottom ridge. But Land Factory on the top ridge, a very powerful weapon. No upgrades on this bottom fight yet, as the Eco's slightly pulling ahead for WSL. But S Commander might be able to do something when he gets this Land Factory up if he can. Is this a good angle? I don't know if the trees might conflict with that. A swamp might be down there. More little land engagements going on. T2 PD now up. Lodi are going to be forced away. WSL asking for drop support. Against tanks. Wonder what Kumtepe will do with that. T2 on the AC. There's a lot of options he has, considering he's the only T2 engineering on the field, I believe. And no T2 era of these black players yet. So TML is a totally viable option. T2 PD creep, denying these mexes might be viable. A nice fire base, just in general, doing whatever he needs to do. It looks like bombers do take out these engineers, with tanks coming in to back it up. See these Selines? Still providing a nice cover. Nice intel for the forces of Swkoll. A very underused tactic for Seraphim players, especially at this level. So it looks like the option is going to be a T2 PD creep. Gonna be a bit conservative with it. He doesn't have too many land units. Just gonna put that eco into T2 PD. Important things to watch out for is this little ridge here. Going to cause problems. So Fate getting P-Gens with his AC does not have much power of his own. Very low power for him. But we'll have to see how this complete eco advantage for WSL pans out in the later game. Later, you're taking a bit of T2 point defense fire with the ACU. You have to fall back. Successful attacks, destroying mexes. As this run by from Come to Play goes through. Where's my mini-map? Not a mini-map. But a successful raid. Tanks are going to get a lot of kills on those engineers. Biggest loss will be the build capacity. I don't know if they can take out these T2 mechs. It would be amazing if they couldn't. Looks like that engineer reclaim a tank? No, I don't believe so. But T2 Air now out in the field from S Commander. Minute 8. Getting those swift winds up. There's lots of power. Ready to do that. Trying to kill the mechs, but she'll be able to. Changed his mind and decided to focus down the mass storage. But just will be slightly too little. Swkoll getting himself in a bit of trouble here. There's a lot of units, but most of it is artillery. So with significant dodging, he should be able to avoid that, but gunship's also being readied, so that would be another option to defend. Has been Tech 2 land from Swkoll. That's possibly why he's so few tanks. Tanks being pulled in from Lodi are trying to provide that support that Swkoll needs. Swkoll losing engineers. The biggest threat is that he loses his power, has lots of energy storage. So at least he isn't reliant on one energy storage. But the tank's allowed to get in the back of the base, forgetting to clean 3 of them up. Shouldn't be able to do too much. And gunship's being pulled out. Is there any flak from Come to Pay? No, there's not. Immediately starting to work on that T2 flak. There's going to be a Russian Bloodier running his Aurors into the T2 point defenses. There's a lot of defenses here. Air from WSL being brought in. WSL, a drop on the top. Tanks and NGs. Already spam, definitely a possibility. Come to Bay. Losing some of his defenses. Does not get that flak up under gunship fire. Air from his back player will be able to help him out though. Bloodier going to be forced back, taking so much T2 point defense fire. It's kind of ridiculous. And the raids continue, losing more energy storages. Bolsheviks are out on the field, but they're just not enough quantity to actually matter here. Gunships from Come to Pay following him. Or gunship following Come to Pay, either way. It works. Swkoll continues to lose those energy storages, might actually lose them all. Swkoll should be able to take out most of this artillery. But WSL taking the lead in score, so much eco now. Getting that extra 8 mass extractors has really helped him in this game. No T2 air yet, just continuing with the T1 air. As I am, I'm not entirely sure why he's choosing to do that. Maybe, is there something about him not playing air before? Well, too bad I can't figuring up chat in observer mode. And a somewhat successful drop does take out a T2 mechs in the back. Continued artillery, T2 defense, and gunships will clean that up though. Shouldn't have had a tiny bit of mass for S Commander, but the damage was done. S Commander now very low in score. They're doing entirely well in the back spot, but these gunships are being useful. It looks like another T2 mechs will actually be protected. These are not someone else's troops. Another defense from Swkoll. Will have to hold off against Mongoose this time. And Come to Pay as well as the Fams and Zookies and these players, but no mobile T2 flak. That's really going to be the thing that matters. These gunships can totally decimate this force if they're just brought in fast enough. Bloatier going down quite low, trying to get some T1 P-gens with the ACU. That's just not going to happen. T2 land factory's now up. We'll land AA, he says. There's L asking him to get their flak together. Ultra's just going in, completely destroying these Mongoose. Mongoose aren't kiting. But the T2 units from Bloatier, with the Blazes and the Obsidian, should be able to hold the line. And a nice sneak around move from Zlofate, trying to get around, looking at the intel. Raider can totally see that, but can he react fast enough before any significant damage is done? If they keep going, they can destroy his power, but the gunship's there with no T2 flak. That's just not going to work out. Zlofate with T2 in the ACU, getting multiple TMLs, possibly looking for a snipe. Let's take a look at that, the range on these things. Oh yeah, totally can hit most of the map. But this raid, not entirely successful. Does take out another energy storage, one remains. Nothing stopping him from building more, lots of mass. Now deposited in the back of Swkoll's base. Swkoll holding the front line with his ACU. Currently an unupgraded ACU, doesn't matter. Come to Pay with the continued T2 point defense creep, this time making sure to build lots of static flak. We'll slow him down, but it's worth it to deny this gunship threat. Not too much teching from Come to Pay, very low mass income. Maybe he can make up for it if he got a land factory reclaiming all these T2 units. WSL continues whatever he needs to do. A lot of mass being wasted in these T1 P-gens here. It's just not very efficient. Going the T2 air, especially by 15 minutes, getting the T2 engine and converting your T1 P-gens into T2 P-gens is somewhat important, but WSL doesn't care. He's still going to win air. He's going to kill these gunships. He's going to protect the forces of Come to Pay and Zlofate. Can't tell who necessarily will win this. All missile launchers now being amassed. Come to Pay trying to get some very advanced TML. See how these TML are doing. There is a stealth gen. This cool looking template, I presume. But these players definitely getting their mass's worth. This commander still behind in the power. WSL getting his power in T1P gens. Yeah, they both work. Junktei losing his T2 point defenses to the mobile missile launchers, doesn't have enough mongoose to keep them at bay. Trying to get the tactical missiles up, but does he even have enough mass to do that? No, he doesn't. I think building about a third of the speed it normally would. And all the air running over this flak isn't going to bode well for S-Commander. In this next air fight, WSL continues his reign of terror, especially over his allied flak, continually winning air. Lots of build capacity from S-Commander on that now. S-Commander now catching up in power very easily, as WSL is putting his power into these very inefficient T1P gens. I'm going to slow this down for a second. Actually, no. Never mind. Let's not do that. I was thinking about showing how inefficient it is, but there are guides for that type of stuff. Tactical missiles have been coming in now. Sniping these T2 maxes. Swkoll X's eco down in the dumps. 11 mass per tick. No TMD. He's got some pretty shiny ultras, but he just can't survive. So much TML. Junktei going down extremely low. Overcharges coming out. Multiple obsidians. Can he survive? Nice overcharge just in time. Kills the obsidian. A few more shots. Does kill Junktei. Gets paid for his T2 PD creep. And now we'll have to see, does he go for, is this a give, all share? Full share, excuse me, or no give. He does have the T2 land. It is full share. I presume that was the giving automatically. Looks like with more flak than a man knows what to do with. Might be interesting if he sent TML against this, or against these mixes. We'll never know. Bloodier now ahead in score because he shot him. That makes sense. But Bloodier losing T3 mass extractors with an obsidian right next to him. Oh, that's gotta hurt. And the significant portion of Bloodier's factories goes down. Yes, you do have two T2 factories. Oh, T2 HQs. Oh no! Oh no. It's tragic. Arguably more tragic than these T1 pigeons. Just saying. But the TML continues to fly, there's just nothing to stop it. And the scary looking T2 force just not going to stop to kill these T2 point defenses. They're just going to run in and take the fire. They just don't care. These are some badass T2 units, but no T2 flak with them. It's been unfortunate. So I will die to these gunships from WSL, who has transitioned to T2 air. It's like, alright, I'll spam some T2 pigeons now. It's 18 minutes. I think it's time to start spamming them. But this nice airplay from WSL with the combined ecos of both the sides doing amazing things, but Swiftwinds do come in, focusing down those gunships, do manage to take them out, but losing his air in the process. Not going to bode well. There's T2 radar. There's an even nicer T2 radar from Zulu Fate. There's just nothing really here to stop this. No build capacity to speak of from Junktei's base. There's just no factory spamming engineers. Nothing to just build rows of T1 point defenses, which are amazing against C2 units. Walled C2 point defense. Rhino can't touch it. At least I beat him in air. That's the spirit. And now you will beat him with gunships. These gunships are cool. They're nifty, and you're just spamming them like you just don't care. WSL. Now with about the same eco as the other team combined. And that's with most of the Swkoll dead. So it looks like this assault will be cleaned up later rather than sooner. Just more continued TML. It's the target. Could be anything, could be factories, it could be the TMD itself, it could be his ACU. But that ACU is pretty far away and that would be kind of difficult. And the target is the T2 mechs. Swkoll just not catching a break here, continuously losing those mexes. At least WSL got a T2 PJ from him. Lost the other one, but that's okay. Gunships continue. Swkoll getting an upgrade, no, just healing him. Spending in mass to get the heals. What more blazes and obsidians come in? Lots of T1 landsmen, but this time they have a T2 flak. They can focus down the T2 flak. He should be fine. An Aeon T2 flak shouldn't be too much of a big deal. All the air flying over the T2 flak. Can he focus it down? He can. And everything left just die very quickly. Let's see. Where's WSL's status on Raz? I assume he has first Raz done. No Raz. No Raz. This is just Eco and T1 P-Gens. Fair enough, fair enough. Good amount of all ships now out in the field. Looks like S-Commander wants a scout on this island. Something thinking about doing drops. There isn't too much static defense. And for the effort you'd have to put into kill two T2 mexes isn't entirely that much. But Gunship's just gonna go right ahead into the middle of the fight. Not a lot of T2 flak in there. Gonna have to win the fight and then win with the Gunships. Multiple flak, just... These factories need to switch to all T2 flak. I think they are. Gunships just trying to get into the back of the base. It looks like T2 flak now being rushed up. P-shooter flak not gonna cut it though. Though what is gonna cut it is all these swift ones, which are now gonna just be recycled later. Or perhaps this is a calm snipe attempt, but the flak is there. The gunships are on low health, and it's just not gonna happen. All this air just has to get out of there now. This commander trying to do something with the gunship. Not sure what. And the gunship just flying over, shooting at the ground units, and then continuing in this kind of mostly snipe attempt. Oh no, and they're gonna fly over all this mobile T2 flak. Ouch. Ouch. And it's just painful. But when will we see T3 air is the question. It's totally viable. Strats with this much eco was very doable. Very, very doable. Let's send the army to kill a single interceptor. Alright, Captain. Roger. But WSL doing an amazing job. Just winning air with T1 P-Gens. But without any really fortified base here, there's not too much. It's not too imbalanced. They're still running off 3 untech decos. This is 4 P-Gens. This is 4 mexes, 4 mexes, about 8 mexes. So it works out. Roughly the same, but all the T2 flag, this isn't going to be viable anymore. Let's see what they try to snipe. Nothing, because the TMD gets it. T3 mexes from Bloatier for capping T2 mexes. Bit of a mistake. Base saying to go grab the mass. WSL no Raz, no T3 air. These both HQs, they're both HQs. Would have guessed. Alright, this game's definitely going in average shows categories. Forget all what I said earlier, this is a pretty high average Josie quality. At least he's reclaiming the mexes. That's a plus. But WSL not really hasn't been doing much teching recently. Mostly just pouring everything into Swift Winds. like some sort of monster. It's the Swiftwind monster. Produces more Swiftwinds than you could possibly imagine. And now S Commander gonna go ahead with Restore spam. S Commander actually has the ego to do that. He has no Raz, but he's gonna produce T3 error anyway. Resty. Comtave has spotted it. And now has been switched up to T1 bombers. Let's see if that can snipe someone. Satox looking quite vulnerable to a T1 bomber snipe. Oh, please let there be a T1 bomber snipe. Restos might look to clean out this island. Only a single T2 mechs. But WSL sending his stuff to the wrong island as the restorers go to the other one. Just make a bit of a mistake, he'll have to turn them around. Head the other way. He's got himself all turned around. Very minimal air defenses on this island. Let's see. Will we see T3 air yet? No. Is WSL plan to go into T3 air? He'll hit the unit cap if he doesn't. Think about it. He's already at 600 units. And Restore is actually just being brought in to defend. And it looks like the snipe attempt will go down. T2 flags somewhat in position. Everything being pulled over. Snipe on S Commander might actually work out if these flags don't do too much damage to the gunships, which they very well might. Gunships are leading, so that could be a problem. They've been given a move command, and an attack command would be much more effective. Restore is going down. Multiple T2 flags, getting the shield right up there. The T1 bombers, oh, they're getting massacred by the flak. They just don't have the health to do this. Shield going down. Shield is down. Can they take out the commander in the back? I don't think there's enough. There just isn't enough. There's restores and everything. And the gunships just aren't doing it. Half health. T1 bombers is dying randomly. And all the gunships die. S Commander is below half health, but no damage was actually done. More stuff. More stuff. It's okay, we got more stuff. Shield does go back up. He forgot to kill the shield, so this is a lost cause. Let's load in chicken. Chicken might work. Presuming all this mass isn't turned into more restorers, which very well might. Just an absurd amount of T2 flak now in the field from the top team. I could get T3 air, but I'm not going to. 'Cause I can build T1 bombers and gunships. This is a good attitude. I know I'm winning an ego, and I'm gonna let him catch up, guys. It's fine. This commander is making a comeback. Now only 20 mass behind. 10 mass behind. Wait, no. My rounding's bad. 20 mass behind. So a second... when at first you don't snipe again, they'll never see it coming. And he'll never be able to move his commander because there's a reclaim everywhere. His commander, what does he see? No advanced radar, so he has no idea what's going on. Scout plane's going out for the first time this game. Be able to see just what he's facing. Though the scouting does not see the chicken. Chicken doing its own thing, getting built. Why? Why is this happening? T1 bombers. You could have built strats. You could have built strats. I'm sorry. I shouldn't be yelling at these players. That's why I typically don't cast average heroes, but this game was sent to me. Games are not often sent to me, so I'm gonna cast them anyway. Yeah. This one isn't terrible. It works. So it's being brought in again, but oh no, there's even more flak here. There's just flak. The gunships die so quickly. Might as well be throwing mercies at them at this point. T1 bombers coming in for the single pass damage on the shield. Shield is broken. Commander goes down, takes the AoE damage from the T2 P-Gen. Now if only there was a strat bomber. Bloateer does in fact go down. And a very costly air snipe. That will now net as Commander. The best eco in the game. And with Restore Spam, that could be pretty scary. How is he building his power? He's building it efficiently in T2. T3 reactors, what's this fighting going on? S Commander's old forces now pushing in, getting hit by the artilleries though. That's gonna hurt. Slightly too little range, and no dodging means that they will get hit. Let's see, will WSL at 30 minutes get T3 air? Yes! He has gotten T3 air, that surprised me. First F's coming out. Send T2 in, we will win. Stores not helping, lots of mobile flak here. WSL's gonna have to build some defenses. Or something. Continues to build T2 gunships. Not even restores. Or strats. Strats would be crazy good. With not too much no ASF on the field from WSL. Or I mean S Commander. S Commander working off a monster of an eco. Doesn't have entirely enough power to work with it yet, but he totally will. Mass please, he says. Fate just doesn't have the eco to do this. No with the reclaim. Still with T1 mexes. They're about to die. Chicken just not there. Successful snipe just netting more mass for the back player. T2 gunship's not going to be effective. No defenses constructed there. Yotha almost done. This is Bloateer. In fact, it's only 70% done. Could be classified as almost. And an air fight taking place over Swkoll's flak. Gonna actually be a win for WSL. So if we were to switch it up to strats, or restores, or something that's not T1 bombers, T2 gunships, we might be able to defend against this. But gunship's just gonna continuously get massacred. Looking at the kills on this flak, 7 kills on a forward flak. Looking at this other one, 5 kills. These are all vet flaks. This is a 2-kill flak with veterancy. This is another, just crazy good flaks. Looks like he's trying to go for some other snipe attempt type thing. Forces being brought in by Fate to save his base, but it's just not happening. I try all in. There's just so much flak and so much mass. And that is how you throw a game. In the interest of seeing what this chicken will do, though, I will continue. I mean, there's a lot of flak, or a lot of defenses here. T3 artillery will damage the shield, but it'll probably go up first. So not too much eco damage is done. At least WSL will have the advantage that, because of everything, how everything worked out, most of his mass will be difficult to kill. It's all on T1 P-Gens. T1 P-Gens are a good choice for health. WSL just floating mass to Fate now. Fate finally able to build this chicken at full speed. for long, as all of this eco is completely steamrolled. Just got it up. Be all in. Somewhat success. No. Almost. Two bombers trying to do something even less than from before. Even more T2 flak. S Commander survives. Restores now in the area. Might actually lose air. WSL. And not like he can make any more. So Swkoll has to make something happen with this chicken with no air support. Restores will easily be able to attack it. Or with enough T2 flak that can be rushed out. I think it can definitely happen. Getting T3 radar support the chicken. Use restores to kill chicken. Don't kill the chicken. Chickens are endangered. And T will then be in control cage to preserve the vet. Or to prevent the vet. And WSL will now die. Death in the corner of the map. Successfully taking on the T2 land, but Restore is proving too much. So much damage. Chicken not able to shoot while it's retreating like that. Great game since WSL. You had the game, WSL. You won this at minute, like, 14. And then you just didn't go T3 air and strats and stuff. I don't know. It's like the team game equivalent of sending your ACU out without any units. So Yafo, we have how much vet? We're looking at 1 rank of veterancy, I think. 1 rank of veterancy. See if he can do something defensively, but so many restores, there just isn't going to be enough flak. So Fate working off of almost no eco. Well, he does have the side islands, so there is that. And chicken working at range. Flak will be there. Don't use them, says WSL. Is there T2 static flak afoot? You can see it. Maybe just TMLing them. That might be an option. The author retreating to the flak again. Restore's getting close. Might just ignore the flak and kill the chicken. See if they choose to do that. There's just a lot of flak now shooting at these restores. Restores do choose to back out. And the last turtle. Where's his power? I guess this is his power. Lots of defenses. It will eventually break under the T3 artillery, unless the TML just continually snipes it. Just continuing to do amazing things. TML still building, not full yet. Sooner or later, someone's gonna have to try to break this through. Strap bombers would be an excellent idea. Like what? Let's just run this at whatever speed my computer can handle. It can handle +6. Let's build, let's build, let's build. And this anticlimactic ending of Turtley Doom. Units attack from all sides, restores come in, chicken tries to defend heroically, but it just can't do it. There's just so many restores, the flak, they're all spread out. Oh. They're focused down as ACU leads. The shields are down, the flak, the SAMs, they're everywhere. Slow Fate. It's just not left the chicken. Below half health. Fate does go down. Minute 36. So I thought this was a pretty entertaining game. For the most part, it was a nice comeback from the topside team. Due to some nice ecoing, getting fed, preventing the snipes. It was a good comeback. WSL, with some very good early play on Twin Rivers, does throw it away, come to pay. Like WSL, had a nice opening. I think that getting the T2 fast with the T2 point defense was pretty good. Didn't really do anything with it though. and he didn't really tech, and fell behind and eventually died. So that's life. So thank you for watching, and good night.